Don't play with it, don't be dishonest. Ay, still not understand.
God makes us all different, right? And there are some things that we experience in life and it causes us to have these various different things. Even with my doctor, we were talking about how certain things can be coping mechanisms. Like the reasons that people get diagnoses of things is because that's the way they coped. It can also be something that was passed along in your through your bloodline, and all of these various different things. But I remember I was having a conversation with the Lord, and I was telling my friend about this, and I was like, yo, is something wrong with me? Like, as I was starting to feel like, okay, this really could be a thing, like this could be things I've experienced. Is this a real thing? Like, is this real? Is there something wrong with me? And I felt like the Lord was telling me there's nothing wrong with you. And that's the first thing I thought, and that's probably the first thing that a lot of people think, whatever the situation might be. But like, it's not that something is actually wrong with you. Like, God doesn't make any mistakes. So however he made you, he made you. The way God made you might not look exactly like every other person, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with the fact that maybe your brain works differently than other people, because God made us all to be different, and God made us to serve us a different purpose. So depending on the purpose that God made you to serve, then he had to make you to where who you were aligned with what he had for you to do. And I think for the world, while there's a set way to show up and to be, God's not like that. He sees us each individually. He loves us individually. He gives people calling us individually based on who they are and who he's made them to be. Like, he manufactured them specifically for what he has for them. But just to think of the things that we see as this being a problem, for one, the Lord is able to heal us of anything that he doesn't want for us to have or isn't working together for our good, and it's according to his will, of course. But we have to understand that our ways are not God's ways, and our thoughts are not God's thoughts. If God has his hand on something and something happens according to God's will for us, it's because God's ways aren't our ways and his thoughts aren't our thoughts. Whereas we think of this thing as a negative. We want to be like everyone else. God doesn't make us to be exactly the way everyone else is. God desires us to be set apart. And so we have to remember that if God's called us to be set apart, then that means he set us apart. And so sometimes the way in which God sets us apart doesn't look like the way that we desire to be set apart. Like, we want to stand out for something that seems good or something that the world will be like, oh, that's amazing. We want to stand out for something riveting. We want to stand out for like being, the best at something. We want to be set apart because, we have the best of something. But the Lord version of what best looks like and our version of what's best, our version of what we think is best is often based on the applause of people, the applause of the world. It can be based on our upbringing, but God doesn't have any of those things like blocking him from knowing what's best. So we have to just trust him. Like, the way that he chooses to set us apart is the best way for us to be set apart. And while it's like, it can feel difficult, it can feel tough, it can feel confusing, we have to lay these things before the Lord, because he's the one that made us. And although these things are new to us, they're not new to God.
Yeah, my God, thank you to my God. Nah, for real. Yeah, my God, thank you to my God.